Hello everyone, welcome to my new space for filming. I'm Amy from Neurotic Mom Bakes, and yeah, we moved since the last time I posted. We're living here temporarily while we build our new home, but this will be my space for a while. Okay, so the last thing that I filmed in my old house was lemon bars, and they were a total fail. They didn't work. So I tweaked them and I've worked on them. And so the first thing I'm gonna film here are the lemon bars. So let's try this. First we're gonna start with the crust. I'm going to get 1 cup of flour. And then 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I like the cornstarch, it just keeps the crust a little bit softer. And then 1/4 cup of sugar, granulated sugar. A pinch of salt. And then 10 tablespoons of butter. I'm using unsalted, and I have it nice and cold, and I'm just gonna cut it up into cubes. We're essentially making like a shortbread crust. So 10 tablespoons is going to be 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons. I'm actually gonna cut them up pretty small. It'll just combine quicker. All right, now I'm using my whisk attachment. You can use a hand mixer, and it's going to take a minute to come together. So while that is mixing and working, we're gonna prep our pan. Okay, so I have an 8x8 or a 9x9 square pan will work. And I'm going to line it with some parchment. Give it a nice, generous spray of cooking spray, especially in those corners. All right, we'll set that aside and check and see how this is doing. Okay, it's starting to come together. Okay, we're gonna let that continue, and I'm going to zest a couple lemons. Don't forget, you want to only scrape it 2 or 3 times and then find a new spot. So you just get that yellow outside of the lemon. Ah, perfect. Set that aside. And then we'll go ahead and squeeze these lemons until we get 1/2 cup or 4 ounces of lemon juice. Dead on, 1/2 cup of juice. Set that aside. And this is still working. I told you it takes a minute, but it will come together eventually. It's getting nice and crumbly. All right. It took a good 5 to 7 minutes, but do you see how now I can form it into a crust layer? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take this off. And I'm just going to pour this into my pan. And then I'm just gonna press it into the corners and the sides, press it down. Okay, now we are going to bake this in a 350-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes until it starts to get golden brown on the sides. Okay, now let's work on the filling for these lemon bars. First, I'm gonna start with 3 eggs. And I'm just gonna whisk those a little bit. Okay, then 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. 1.5. Okay, and then my lemon zest. Ooh, my yummy, yummy lemon zest. It's so good. I have about 2 tablespoons here. Get that all in. I have 1/2 cup of the lemon juice. I need 1 cup of flour, all-purpose flour. And we're just gonna whisk this together until it's nice and smooth. And I have chilled my crust just a little bit. I'll just pop it in the freezer for like 10 minutes just to kind of cool it down. Just pour this right into the crust. It smells so good. And this will go back in your oven at 350 degrees for another 25 to 30 minutes. And you'll know it's done when you kind of jiggle it, just the center will wiggle just a little bit, and then it's done. So here we go, in the oven. All right, my lemon bars are completely cooled off. I sped up the process by putting them in the freezer for about a half an hour. And what I like to do is I have actually gone and just cut off the edges. I just like the look of the shortbread and then the lemon on top. So I went ahead and cut those off, save them, eat them, don't throw them away. And then I'm gonna cut the rest into 16 pieces. Okay, and then we're just gonna dust with powdered sugar. I like a lot of powdered sugar. Oh, those look so good. And then just carefully. Mine weren't quite all the way chilled through. You want to get them chilled through before you cut. So my cuts aren't quite as clean, but they're still pretty good. These will store in a cool place, just covered for 3 to 4 days or up to a week in your fridge, or you can even freeze them for at least a month in your freezer. So these are something you can make ahead of time for a party, and they will freeze and refrigerate nicely. Okay, there they are. If you like lemons, you are going to love these. They are easy to make, and you can be eating these in no time. So make sure to give them a try, and then if you want to see more recipes like this, just make sure you subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time.